Man, y'all be cutting up in that chat room. Y'all need to cut it out. I see y'all over there saying, hey, y'all typing up there, set it off. Set it off. Y'all be cutting up in that chat room. Y'all be cutting up. Y'all really do. All right. But that's what you get over here. You know, we gotta have a little fun, a little comedy up in it, you know what I'm saying, to kind of relax the mood a little bit. Especially after last night, yeah, last night was man, last night was nothing to play with this story. It was nothing to play with. I saw some y'all, man, the emotions was getting high. Y'all damn near about to cuss each other out, which I don't mind because I understand that this is a high profile story and a lot of people emotion just all over the place, so I understood that. But at the same time, it was kind of in a respectable lane, nobody get too out of hand. But this show in particular last night, I can understand how everybody was getting upset, so that's why I just let it ride. Usually I say something, but I just let it ride, man, because a lot of people just got totally different opinions about the whole situation, so can't knock nobody for that. All right, so but at the same time, I appreciate everybody who did keep it in check where it didn't get too far out of hand. I appreciate y'all for doing that. So anyway, how everybody doing tonight? It is 10:13 my time, which is Central Time. All right, and we got another story that we're gonna set it off. So yeah, hopefully y'all had y'all skates on when I had that playing, and everybody went in the skating rink. everybody went in the skating ring, running around that skating ring. I can't skate, so I was the DJ, and I watch y'all skate around the skating ring doing y'all little line dance and stuff. So yeah, we set it off. It's definitely set it off last night. Definitely set it off. So yeah, we set it off on the left, we set it off on the right, we set it off all around the circle everywhere. So we set that jump off last night. Yes, it was Night Owl. It was emotional. So yeah. Yeah. All right, what up, Reggie? What's the business? I ain't seen you, man. How you doing, my brother? Night Owl, Queen Wallace, Krista Moore, C.S. Arden, Alicia Greer. Hey, sweetie, how you doing? Miss DD, what's going on? How you doing? Sandy, you doing a good job in making sure people get the link. Excellent job you doing. I thank you so much for helping me with that. Good day, Tina Powers. How you doing? Cat Eyes, how you doing? You in the building tonight? I think I said Krista Moore. Queen Wallace. Who has somebody else I'm missing? I got a married couple in the chat room tonight, I believe. Hey, Lady Key. Hey, boo. How you doing? On one lie. I emailed you earlier. I don't know if you got it. Roll them out. What's going on? Carol, what's going on? Who else up here? Somebody named Shay in the middle. What up, Shay? What up, Shay? How you doing? Sea Turtle, what's going on? Chantel. Oh shit, Chantel in the middle. What up, Chantel? What up? Evelyn in the building. She said, "Who that?" Her name says, "Who that?" All right. Let's see. Brittany Sumrich, her and her husband's in the building. Everything Reese, what's going on? Thank you for sending me the story. Y'all been blowing my shit up about this story. And Reggie, that's the husband right there. So we got a husband and wife in the building tonight. Appreciate y'all. All right, and Ravenheart, what's going on? That's going to the top. Let's see what's going on the bottom. We ain't got some news and came in. Brit, what's going on? Rhonda, what's going on? All right. Yeah. Hey, Miss Cooley, what's going on? Good evening to all of you. Thank y'all for being here tonight. All right. Yeah, on one lie, I emailed you earlier because I was like, girl, you was all up in the comment section in that video that I put up earlier today. You all up in the comment section. You and I think it was Dee Dee too. You and Dee Dee all up in the comment section. So, wow. Man, but what can I expect though? Again, the story at hand. What can I expect? And speaking of this story, y'all know there's still stuff coming out on this man. They actually put out an article on him about his child support and all that other shit. I said, who put this out there? Wisconsin did. Whoever do Wisconsin's article. has put that shit up about him, his cases, his open warrants, and everything. I said, oh my God, and here I am. I was trying not to go that route. Because, I mean, me personally, I thought it was irrelevant to the case or whatnot. But the way they put it out there, it may be it may be relevant to it. I don't know, but well, let me say this. When you make noise, just be prepared to get attention. I'll say that. When you make noise, be prepared to get the attention. You made a whole lot of noise, and now you got the attention that you wanted. Man, this shit is crazy. And shout out to Von Mays. I seen him on the stream last night, and this is what he told me. Well, I ain't gonna tell you everything what he told me. I'm just gonna leave it at this, what he told me. He said, bro, you way off. He said, this ain't got nothing to do with, he tried to call them and they didn't accept him. He said, this story go way deeper than a lot of people think. And he said, I could have put a whole lot of stuff out there when I did my live. He said, but I ain't. He said, I'm just sit back, let this man do his thing, and we gonna see what happens. I said, when he told me that, and I got extra respect for him when he told me that. I got extra respect for him. And to let you know he ain't out here just trying to get views and clicks. And what people do make him mad, he's not going to air you out like that. He just going to stand back and say, hey, let you do your thing, bro. We're going to see how it goes. All right? So are they thinking, some people have told me that they think he is involved. Me personally, I don't think he is. I don't think he's involved in that. You know, I think the reason they probably putting this stuff out there because I guess some people starting to say that they believe he's full of shit. I don't know. So I really don't know why they put that out there. You know, but y'all know how to, oh my God, this thing did it again. Why this thing keep doing that? Yeah, so to be honest, yeah, I don't know why they put that, why their news source or whoever does their articles, I don't know why they put that out there, to be honest. So I can't tell you why they put that out there. But, you know, I don't know. Whatever reason they put it out there, I mean, it is out there now. It is out there now, you know. So, hey, but I always kept wondering why he kept saying, I don't care what nobody say. I don't care what nobody say. I don't care what nobody say. When you hear people like that and you got a high profile story like that, that means he's been watching he's been watching social media. He's been watching these Facebook groups and stuff, and he sees what's going on. So that's why he keeps saying he don't care what nobody thinks. And he probably don't care what nobody thinks, but we just have to see how everything play out, you know. Yeah, we just had to see how everything play out, guys. But anyway, we got a story out here from Texas that another crazy one, don't know what the hell going on. They found remains of a 9-year-old. They found remains of a 9-year-old, and this body's supposed to be in there for like a year. Then they had 3 other minors in their apartment, and they say they've been there and abandoned for like a few months. You know, so I did a little research, and I'm like, Jesus Christ, what the hell really going on with this one, you know? So, y'all know what? Let's just listen, and as always, yeah, let's just listen. Let's just listen.
This morning, story that is making national headlines. 3 boys found abandoned inside an apartment unit in southwest Harris County.
Deputies say they made the discovery doing a welfare check. KPRC2 Sophia Ojeda live at the apartment complex where the children were found. Sophia?
Yeah, good morning. We know this morning authorities tell us that they have found the children's mother and the mother's boyfriend, and they are now being interviewed by homicide investigators. We also have learned that the Harris County Sheriff's Office learned the 15-year-old brother was the one who called them and said his 9-year-old brother had been dead for a year and was in the room next door. A horrific discovery late Sunday at the City Park 2 apartments on Greencrest Drive in West Houston. Authorities say 3 boys were found abandoned with the skeletal remains of another sibling inside the apartment.
And when they arrived, they discovered 3 juveniles just at plain view. It appears they're living in pretty deplorable conditions.
Investigators say the 15-year-old brother called the Harris County Sheriff's Office and said his parents had not lived in the apartment for months. A 10-year-old and 7-year-old sibling were also there, malnourished and with some signs of injuries. The skeletal remains of a 9-year-old sibling were also discovered. Authorities say he had been there for quite a long time.
You know, very disturbing sets of circumstances, so we definitely want some answers for these children.
The sheriff said the kids were getting food somehow, but they were not sure how or who was leaving it. The children are now being checked out at an area hospital. The Department of Family and Protective Services now seeking emergency custody of the 3 boys. Reporting live in West Houston, Sophia Ojeda, KPRC 2 News.
Okay, Sophia, thank you.
Reddit says, so no maintenance or apartment manager did no checks, had been on the property over a year. And that's a good question because like Reese said in one of the emails she sent me, who was paying the rent? I mean, how the rent was getting paid. You know, they've been there like that, you know, how the rent was getting paid, how the utilities was getting paid and all that stuff like that. You know, what the hell is really going on with this one? And then I had to ask the question, 15 years old, and you saying the body been in there for a year, and you didn't say nothing until now? I mean, I don't understand this one at all. You know, when you first hear it, you automatically like, what the hell is going on here? A whole year? A whole year this body was in there. And you didn't say nothing until almost another year that's finna end. I don't understand that. You know, and if they've been abandoned for a couple of months, what was going on for a couple of months that you didn't even call the police and said, my mom has not been at the apartment, or the boyfriend, whoever it is, and they now want to be at the apartment, you know? But when you find a body, you call the police, which I'm not saying you're wrong for doing that, but y'all was abandoned like that, then you should, young man, you should have been called the police, you know? But I'm gonna tell you what's gonna get crazy about this story. The mom and the boyfriend has been questioned. Somehow, some way, they got released. Right, Chantel, no body odor, Lord have mercy, no body odor, or nothing, no foul smell. I mean, no anything, you know, but he said a year. He been dead in there a year. So if he says he been dead in there a year, then you knew he was already in there. You knew he was in there. You know, hey, boss, what's going on, dear? How you doing? Much love to you. Much love. Hey, mountain girl. A whole year. And it's finna be another year. And no call. No call. No call. Again, like Reddy said, no manager visit. The maintenance man ain't come through. Some apartment complex, like every once in a month or something, they come and spray down your apartment. Nobody came by, did nothing. Or what about the next door neighbors? You know, they saying next door neighbors feeding them. They didn't call the police. I mean, what the hell? What the hell? What the hell? Now, for some reason, just talking about that, I'm just wondering, does any one of them has a learning disability or something? Or maybe he have a learning disability that it probably just really registered to him until something just snapped and said, damn, we got a dead body in here. Or could it be that they had food for them to survive? And maybe by him being 15, he knew somewhat of the mechanism of, I guess, taking care of his siblings. He must know how to feed them. He must know how to bathe them. stuff like that. Cause they probably showed him how to do that. Like my grandma did me when she did a daycare. You know, you got to think about stuff like that. Maybe he knew what to do. But now here's the thing. Now we got to ask this question too. By them being minors, no school calls, no daycare calls, no school call, daycare calls, anything like that. You know, nobody called, said the kids ain't been in school. Nobody getting in trouble for truancy. You know, I mean, you have a whole lot of questions. Routine apartment inspection. I mean, none of this happened. Did none of this happen? Now, those type of apartments that you got, it makes me wonder what part of town that is in Texas. You know, is it one of them hood towns? I don't know. Is it one of them towns that, you know, hey, we don't snitch around here, you know, we don't fuck with the cops, you know, so it could be one of them situations. I don't know. But my favorite saying, and I got it from Eddie Murphy, it's a motherfucking ridiculous. This story is a motherfucking ridiculous, and it makes no damn sense. And for the parent or parents to be released like that, something is going on here. Something going on here. Amen? Something going on here. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the show. You haven't, please hit that thumbs up for your boy. And let's get deeper into this story and see what the fuck is really going on. If we can even get to what the fuck is really going on.
Malnourished and showing signs of physical harm. That is what Harris County Sheriff Ed Gonzalez.
Malnourished and showing sign of physical harm, and they were released. Wow.
Saying about a horrifying case of child neglect.
Children were found abandoned in an Alief area apartment complex. One of the siblings, a 9-year-old, was found dead inside. KPRC2 Sophia Ojeda joining us live from downtown Houston with the latest in this case. Sophia, good morning.
Good morning. I did just speak with Harris County Sheriff Ed Gonzalez, who told me that the mother and the boyfriend, they were interviewed last night and they were released and no charges have been filed. Meanwhile, Child Protective Services tells us an emergency removal is set to be filed today here in family court for the three brothers, and that CPS does have history with this family, but there was no active investigation.
Oh God,
at the time
here we
the
go
children...
again. CPS and oh God, what's the history now? Jesus Christ. Did anybody pay attention to something? Y'all notice how they addressing the male? Y'all notice they not saying stepdad, they not saying dad. What are they saying? Boyfriend. Boyfriend. How many of y'all caught that? Not stepdad, not dad. Boyfriend. So you mean to tell me a man who may have children himself, he just may, will sit up here and allow a woman that he jumping up and down in to just run off and leave her children according to what the story says? You will let this happen let this woman run off and abandon children. Now, you know what? I understand we don't have obligations to other people's children. We don't have obligations. But there's always a such thing. You're going to accept the person, you got to accept the package that come with it. And I know a lot of people do that. You let the man accept you, but you don't let him accept your kids. And maybe vice versa. And I think that's a horrible thing to do. Nobody should come before your own children. Nobody should come before your own children, man or woman. Nobody should come before your own children. But in reality we living in now, that seems like that's what's going on a lot lately. Everything else become before your children. Even dick and coochie comes before the children.
and no charges have been filed. Meanwhile, Child Protective Services tells us an
charges
emergency
have been
removal is
filed.
set to be
Wow.
filed today here in family court for the three brothers, and that CPS does have history with this family, but there was no active investigation at the time the children were found. The sheriff says they were called to the home on Greencrest Drive yesterday after the 15-year-old brother called them and said his younger 9-year-old brother was deceased and had been in the room next to his for the past year. When they arrived, they found the boy's remains in the apartment, and the 15-year-old, 10-year-old, and 7-year-old living in deplorable conditions, malnourished with signs of injuries. The sheriff says the boys were getting food, but it's not exactly clear how they were getting it. Last night, the mother and her boyfriend were taken into custody and interviewed by homicide investigators. They have since been released, and no charges have been filed. Again, there is an emergency removal hearing set for today here in family court for the three boys. We could learn a lot about what happened from that removal affidavit, but that is only if the judge chooses to release it. Of course, we'll stay on top of the story and bring you the very latest. The sheriff telling us that this case is still under investigation. Reporting live downtown, Sophia Ojeda, KPRC 2 News.
It is beyond heartbreaking.
You mean to tell me these two is walking free after that? They are actually walking free after that? CPS had a history with them? The CPS is coming again for emergency taking of these children? And they still get to walk? Man. That's cold-blooded. That is cold-blooded. That is cold-blooded. Oh, Queen, you know it's more to the story. That ain't just it. It's more to the story. Or maybe they wait for CPS to conduct their investigation, and maybe something's going to happen then, you know? So, again, let me say this. Thank God I don't have any children. I can't do it. Thank God I ain't got no children. Or if I had children, I let people keep my children and this type of shit that goes on, you know, because that's trifling. This is trifling. Somebody need their ass whooped, at the least. Somebody need their ass whooped. Like my grandma used to always say, you need your ass whooped. You is trifling. You need your ass whooped. You need your ass whooped. A good old-fashioned ass whooping. A good old-fashioned ass whooping to do some shit like that. I don't give a damn if they white or black children. Fuck the dumb shit. You know, shit. They children, period. I don't give a damn what race they is. No children, no child, no teenager should be treated like that. And then, how about this? When they get older, the mom probably gonna try to talk to them like she ain't did nothing. And expect the children just act like ain't nothing happened. You know, and the children gonna remember all of this. They're gonna remember all of this. All right, and yeah, God, yeah. So I don't give a damn what race they are. Fuck the dumb shit. I don't give a fuck what race they are. But I will ask this question though: if the boyfriend is not the father, then who is the biological father? And I hope when he find out, I mean, when he find out, he gonna raise all kind of hell. Now, if Carter was in this situation, I'd be on his side 100%. If it was this situation, he raising hell the way he doing now, I'd be behind his back 100%. You damn right I would be. That's right, Reggie B. I have no idea. No idea. This is insane. This makes no sense. This is insane. Ain't no way in hell. Ain't no way in hell. Ain't no way. Woo! Christ. Wow, that is crazy. It's crazy. All right, we got 49 likes in the building. Appreciate you. Can we get some more? Appreciate you. The more you do it, the more people coming in, because the numbers giving that there look like the more y'all hit the thumbs up, the more people coming in, and the more people look like they coming out of the bushes. Elaine, what's going on? Good evening to you. All right. So, ladies and gentlemen, let's get into this conference, and I don't think they can even make sense of what's going on, but let's check it out.
Ed Gonzalez, Harris County Sheriff, joined here by several of our leaders. We have Lieutenant Bruce immediately to my right, Lieutenant Vinegary, and then Lieutenant Cook as well to my left. Very horrific situation out here, very tragic. Been in this business for a long time, and I had never heard a scenario like this. It really caught me by surprise.
Shit, who you telling? I think it caught all of us by surprise, so I don't blame you. Or whatever your name is, I don't blame you.
What we have right here is we have an apartment unit. It appears to be where 3 juveniles were left abandoned pretty much. I'm told they range in ages from 15, 10, and 7 years old. They've been here for an extended period of time. At the same time, we also have the skeletal remains of what appears to be a juvenile. It appears to have been there for also an extended period of time. We don't know how long. That'll be part of the forensic investigation. We don't know the exact age, but we anticipate again that it's the skeletal remains for a juvenile. And other than that, right now, it's just very preliminary information. We're trying to identify next of kin to determine exactly what's happened and how we got to this point. But again, a very horrific set of circumstances. And so, very troubled by all this. Our members are troubled by it, but we're going to make sure we do everything we can and make sure we conduct a thorough follow-up investigation, make sure that the kids are okay. This will be a follow-up investigation involving multiple agencies because we also have juveniles involved. So that's what we have right now. En español, brevemente, estamos aquí en una unidad, en unos apartamentos, encontramos a 3 juveniles que parecen que están abandonados por un tiempo, de edades de 15 años, 10 y 7 años de edad. Al mismo tiempo encontramos un cadáver dentro del apartamento que parece también que había estado ahí por un tiempo, ya por mucho tiempo, y va a ser parte de nuestra investigación. Entonces, en este momento no hemos localizado los parientes o familiares ni nada. Va a ser algo que va a ser parte de nuestra investigación. Any questions?
Sheriff, what are the kids? Can you talk about what the
It's part of our investigation. Our detectives will begin, that part of it. It's very early right now. And so we're making sure, first of all, that they're okay. And then we'll have to determine next steps after that, and again, get to the bottom of what happened.
How did you guys get called here?
We received basically information for a welfare check. I'll see what information our detectives want us to put out other than us. We got information about this particular unit, and when they arrived, they discovered 3 juveniles just at plain view. It appears they're living in pretty deplorable conditions at first glance. They haven't gone in there to do a thorough scene investigation at this point. But again, our hearts break for those 3. They're still children, and so for the one that has passed away.
When it comes to the parents, where does your investigation stand on that?
Very early right now. That's why we'd like to identify who are the parents, adults, next of kin are, just so we'd like to know exactly what we have here. In our experience, it's always best to not speculate and just let the investigation take its course. But very disturbing sets of circumstances, so we definitely want some answers for these children.
Were these children able to leave the apartment? Were they locked in, or?
I haven't been told that they were necessarily locked in, but that age, it appears that they were basically fending for each other, which is very sad. Again, we have a 15-year-old, a 10 and 7, and I think the older sibling was basically doing the best he could to take care of the others.
I just said that.
I just said that. Remains, we believe at this point it's going to be another juvenile, possibly a sibling that passed away, and it appears the skeletal remains have been there for an extended period of time. So You know, just connecting all the dots at this point. It seems that they were in there while the body was deteriorating.
Were they aware? Reason that 15-year-old didn't call 911, or have you guys figured that out?
We haven't gotten that far as access to phones or, you know, did they seek help or not. We don't know what happened.
And the body, was it invisible? Was it in, where was it located? Could you see it?
The body was not concealed to my knowledge. So I don't think the body was necessarily concealed. It was just in the apartment. I don't know exactly where.
Do you believe that the deceased, the remains that you found, that they're all siblings, that these are all from the same family?
That's most likely what it'll be. That's what our initial speculation is. But again, we'll work with the Houston Institute, the Harris County Institute of Forensic Sciences to let them make the ultimate determination, because at this point we're dealing with skeletal remains. So we don't know the identity, but just from the initial information we do have, we are led to believe that it's one of the siblings that was in the household when this.
Where are the children now?
We've got them in our care right now.
Have you interviewed the children enough to know if there's any other siblings that might be outstanding?
We don't know if there's any other siblings involved.
Was the apartment registered to anybody, and you guys ever responded out here before?
I don't know if we've ever had any calls for service, Lieutenant Stiano. We don't have that information yet.
Sheriff, who made the welfare check? Who made the call?
Our units arrived. We don't know who actually called it in. I don't know that, so I don't know. Somebody alerted us that we need to check that apartment. Basically, what ends up being a traditional welfare check that we do, and that's when, you know, our units just were.
Any indication that adults live there, or?
It doesn't appear. Again, it appears that the children have been abandoned, as I said initially, for an extended period of time. We don't know for how long or what's exactly transpired or where the adults are in all this. We'd like to know where they're at.
Is management on scene right now, and are they cooperating? Residents say that they've been doing inspections and walking around this area the last few weeks. What's their? That's
the first I hear about them, the management doing rounds or anything for inspections. We haven't been told. We don't know if that apartment was checked or not. Obviously, it would have raised a lot of red flags, I think, just from the initial description that our units saw. But I'm not sure if we've connected with management or if they're on site at this point yet. This is all very preliminary still. I always like to preface that because sometimes we'll get curves that we didn't know were information that we didn't know yet. So it's still preliminary.
This is obviously very traumatizing for these kids. What resources are being made available to them while you guys are questioning?
We do have victim advocates available. We'll also work with CPS involved, being anytime that there's any type of trauma involved, or CPS. I mean, here we have 3 children that appear to be abandoned, another one deceased inside the house, possibly, or the unit. So we'll work with CPS as well to make sure every resource is available to them, and that going forward, they do have the care that they deserve. And it's horrific to see anything happen to children. I've said it before, whenever a child's involved, whether it be a fatal accident or another scenes of abuse, that those are always the most difficult for first responders.
You said the skeletal remains were there for a while. Were there reports of any stench or anything of that nature?
I mean, we'll check if there were any calls for service. I think if reports would have come in, that probably would have been something significant that would have drawn us to this apartment before, but to our reports, nothing was reported. But it appears that the remains had been there for an extended period of time, and I emphasize extended.
Are we talking about weeks?
Wow.
I would guess much longer.
That is nuts.
Much longer.
And just to clarify, because there's been a bunch of numbers, 1 skeletal remains and 3 children?
3 children are alive, and then 1 skeletal remains that were found that most likely are for a juvenile as well. Yeah, so I think the siblings, or the 3 siblings, were there, and the other possible sibling was deceased inside the residence, and no type of action was ever taken.
Sheriff, have you touched on just how traumatizing this can be for first responders? Can you talk to us about having to go and talking to these children and knowing what they've been through and trying to get information from, at the same time you saw this case, but obviously it's traumatizing for them to have to relive that and retell that?
Yeah, I mean, it's a difficult set of circumstances. You know, we just kind of draw on all our different experiences that we have, but I've been in this business for a very long time, and I was shocked when I was first getting the initial rundown of what, you know, the initial findings, and I've seen a lot. I've responded to a lot of different scenes, so have these men, and we can never think of these type of circumstances coming together in this way. And so, you know, we'll work through it. You know, at the main time, we're resilient in getting to the bottom of this and bringing justice for these kids and finding answers. you know, at the end of the day as well, we don't want to get ahead of the investigation and just let the evidence lead us to where it may. And we need to get in touch with family members or next of kin. Some adult must have known or had information about what was going on here. Because
They
it
had
appears these
to.
kids have been
Somebody
here
had
for
to
a
know
while.
something.
And so we need to find out exactly what happened and you know, get to the bottom of it.
We do have someone from the public asking about school. Do we know if these children were leaving the residence?
The school. What they say about
No,
school?
we haven't even gotten that far. We're just trying to determine the initial, you know, set of circumstances that we have here and working our way out. We'll determine if they were involved in school or not, or, you know, just, again, even if they were going to school and abandoned in this way, it's just, you know, just difficult. You know, our hearts break for those kids having to be in school and be going through this type of trauma.
Can you describe the condition of the 3 children? Have you seen them?
All in all, I think that they seem to be holding up okay. I mean, you know, physically, from what we see, one may have some injuries, but I'm not going to go to the extent of the injuries at this point. But they're all being checked out at this point, so we'll make sure that they're doing okay, both physically and emotionally as best we can, and giving the support that they need.
Do they have food and stuff? I mean,
There appear to be some food, so, you know, we don't know where they were getting that food or who was leaving it, you know, but again, we haven't done a full search yet of the entire apartment, so we don't know. But I do want to emphasize this does not appear to be a short-term kind of situation. It appears to have been ongoing now for quite a long time, you know, whatever these kids have been going through.
My goodness. This can't be real. This cannot be real. And thanks to the people asking the questions, because pretty much that's what I was saying. You know, they asked about the school and, you know, the maintenance, where Reggie was wondering about the maintenance, no maintenance check. I mean, again, how was the damn place getting paid for, unless, even though they was gone from the apartment, they was still going to pay, they was still paying the rent, you know, or somebody was taking the money up to the rent. I mean, damn, somebody was taking the money to the landlord. Somebody was. So, oh, God. You... And for I would love to know what was the parents' answer, or the mom answer, because they say he's just a boyfriend. I would love to know what was the mom answers to questions, and what questions did they ask us. So I can't wait till a release come out and to see what question. Hey, Shauna Pooh, hey, long time, how you doing, dear? I can't wait to see if they're gonna put out a release of what questions, what was asked, and what the mom response was. And I'm with him. Somebody had to know something. Somebody had to know something. This girl says the project ain't no rent. Girl, please, everywhere you go is rent. This is Section 8. They don't like Section 8 apartments to me. They don't. I could be wrong. But they don't look like no Section 8 apartments to me. They look like apartments that you paying a pretty penny to stay up in there. That would have looked like now. I don't know. But however, you with Section 8 though, somebody had to be paying it though. So, right, Myra, the smell alone, you know, like they asked, you know, nobody reported a smell or nothing. You know, what in the entire physic is going on with this story, man? And I'm finna play out where they say the neighbors gonna mention something about they was feeding them. They were feeding them. So if he kept coming to them and asking for food to be fed, nobody called the police? No, nobody called the police or something? No, nobody called the police. Nobody said nothing. If he kept coming to you asking for food, nobody called the police. Amazing. So we got no school calls, no maintenance, no inspections, no daycare calls. We questioning about the rent, which I believe the rent probably was getting paid. We question about the rent. You know, what about the neighbors? Had they not been seeing them coming in out their apartment lately? We question about the foul stint odor. The body been dead for a year. Nobody said nothing about it. It stinks up in there. Nothing. Or what about the people? Okay, when they were at the apartment, I'm pretty much sure they had visitors. So, you mean to tell me if they had visitors, nobody smelled that shit? If they had visitors at the apartment, nobody smelled that? Unless they had their room completely blocked off to where the stench could get out. But then again, according to a lot of y'all who watch my show, y'all say you can smell that shit. It ain't no covering that shit. You can smell that shit. Unless it's lime. I think lime is the only thing that probably can cover it up. Lime. Or maybe some other stuff. I know lime is one of them. But what I've been told is stench of death like that, you can try as hard as you want to cover it up, but you can't do it. Because it's just that bad. It's just that bad. It's just that bad. Hey, Sarah, what's going on? What's going on? All right, so let's see what the neighbors got to say.
Yeah, really no other way to describe this than straight out of a horror movie. I spoke with two neighbors here at this apartment complex where it all happened. They tell me that they've been feeding that 15-year-old boy for up to 6 months. Now, while they knew something was off, they never imagined
6 months and nobody ain't saying nothing? 6 months ain't nobody said nothing. Really?
Others and a dead body. A living nightmare inside this apartment. 3 young boys left abandoned in squalid conditions with their dead brother slowly decomposing. The Harris County Sheriff's Office says the 15-year-old boy called police on Sunday, saying his 9-year-old brother had been dead for a year in their apartment. And the mom hasn't been back in months.
I first seen him, he was sleeping in the slide over here.
Erica Chapman also lives at City Park 2 at West Oaks Apartments. She says she started feeding the 15-year-old boy 6 months ago.
I noticed his mom a few times would come and park, and he'd run down and grab like oodles and noodles, chips and drinks and run back up.
But it wasn't enough. He was starving.
He would not eat anything that you made. You had to buy it. Like it had to be a salad that was closed from the store or a pizza. Fruits had to still be in a bag.
Another neighbor, Trevor Thompson, who doesn't want us showing his face, also started feeding the 15-year-old about a week ago.
Then one day he came down and knocked on my door and asked could I charge his phone. So I charged the phone. So from there I built a bond with him.
He says the apartment had no electricity.
So that means there was no electricity in the apartment either. Okay. Oh, Jesus Christ. Oh, Jesus Christ.
And he saw the mother come and go, so started to offer him food. Thompson also describes him as paranoid. He was worried about getting poisoned.
But he wouldn't take cooked food. He would take fruits and snacks.
Both Thompson and Chapman didn't know the deep, twisted secrets and horror the 15-year-old was living with. Not only did he not tell them about the dead body, but his 2 young brothers, 10 and 7 years old, who deputies say were also living in that apartment.
Because I asked him, did you like the first piece of that about you? He said, what, the first one that we had? And that kind of made me wonder, why would he say we?
Why do you think he didn't tell
Whoa, what you say?
Brother?
First one that we had?
And 7 years old, who deputies say were also living in that apartment.
Because I asked him, did you like the first piece of that about you? He said, what, the first one that we had? And that kind of made me wonder, why would he say we?
Why do you think he didn't tell people he had these brothers?
After finding out what happened yesterday, I think he was more nervous and scared. Hey, are they going to blame me for this? Are my parents going to punish me for this?
And the Harris County Sheriff's Office tells me those 3 young boys were taken to the hospital because they were malnourished and they did have some injuries. As far as the mother goes, police were able to find her and her boyfriend. They were brought in for questioning, but at this point tonight, no charges have been filed. Live in Southwest Harris County, I'm Brooke Taylor, ABC 13 Eyewitness News.
They go to justice system. You mean to tell me all that shit, they was released. No electricity. They were feeding him oodles and noodles. He wasn't getting enough food. She would come there and he'll run down, get food, and he'll run back to the apartment and she'll leave again. No lights, no nothing. The neighbors feeding him and said he wouldn't eat the cooked food because he was afraid of getting poisoned, which in a sense, I guess I can understand him when he say that. You know, you can't trust everybody cooking. So I guess I give him that. At least he was smart to think about that. You know, that if I eat somebody else's food, something bad can happen. You know, so I give him that. But hearing all of this, not now one of them neighbors called the police, at least for a welfare check. Nobody did that. Even that man said, I thought that was strange. Who was we? You would think they would give him enough reason to say, hold on, something ain't right, man. Let me at least do a welfare check. But nobody did nothing. They was doing the right thing, trying to keep him fed. But other than that, nothing else was done. This can't be real. This can't be real. And the lady said, I would see the mom. She would come and park. He'll run downstairs and grab stuff. And you see this? And then you turn around, you had to feed them too, and nothing registered to say, I need to do a welfare check. Nothing registered to say that I need to do a welfare check. Now, she never said she saw the boyfriend. She just said that she saw the mom. All right, so what's really going on here? And now, even with that, somebody said in the chat room, they believe the mom killed the child. Well, who knows who did what to that child? But the fact of the matter is, now that y'all are hearing that the apartment was abandoned and a dead child is in it, and they both were still released? She was still released, and a dead body was found, and she was still released. Man, you gotta love it. You gotta love it. You gotta love it. You gotta love it. Now, this don't make no damn sense whatsoever. You couldn't keep the well. I think we just got our answer. I mean, you could keep the lights on, then damn, you couldn't keep, if the lights ain't on, then how the hell they able to stay there that long? Jesus. Unless they didn't pay the light bill, they just kept paying the rent. What the hell? Hey, that's the name on the promise, Lady D. What's that you got right there? Let's see. Is that the name of the apartments? Let's have a look. Well, look at this. Look at this. Yeah, way this looking right there, man. Those some mighty fine looking apartments. You know, again, I can't say they the PJs now, but those are mighty fine looking apartments. Got a pool with a community amenities, pool, barbecue picnic area, fitness center, clubhouse, business center. Then you it comes with refrigerator, dishwasher, wash and dry connections, patio and balcony, and a ceiling fan. All right. All right. Those some mighty fine apartments out there. Some mighty fine apartments, you know. So, well, what's really going on? What I mean, shit. Them apartments are real expensive. They look real expensive. Hell, standing something like that, you gotta have money. You gotta have money. Look like it. You stay up with something like that. So hell, you know, Hooters and Noodles, probably all they can afford right now. But you know, what? You know, I don't wanna lie. You know when they show them apartments, they usually show the one that's I'm finna say furbished, but what's the word I'm looking for? Is it furnished? They usually show the ones that's furnished, you know, give all the pretty little displays and stuff like that, you know. But even with that though, you know, just looking at that right there, you know, that's some mighty fine apartments, you know, look like they very expensive to live in, and you gotta have a certain amount of income to live up in something like that. Now, man, that's nice. That's very nice. That's real nice. Have I heard of Elijah Lewis? No, I haven't. But if somebody put my email up there, you can email me the story. Yes, you can. You can email me the story. It says, authorities discovered the skeletal remains of a child and 3 abandoned siblings living in a Houston apartment Sunday. Police said remains that may have been one of their siblings who died a year ago. Harris County deputies responded Sunday afternoon to a call by a 15-year-old who said that his 9-year-old brother had been dead for a year and that his body was in the room next to his. According to the Harris County Sheriff's Office, when the police arrived to the apartment complex in Western Houston, they found the 3 minors, ages 15, 10, and 7, abandoned in an apartment and living for a long time in deplorable conditions. And they still was released. Harris County Sheriff Ed Gonzalez said during a news conference Sunday evening, they also found remains that could be of minors and that appear to have been abandoned there also for an extended period of time, Gonzalez says. And I emphasize extended. Police did not identify the children. The teenager told the deputies that his parents hadn't been living in the apartment with him and his 2 younger brothers for several months. The youngest boys appeared to be malnourished and showed signs of physical injury, police said. They were taken to a hospital to be assessed and treated. They were in there while the body was deteriorating, said Gonzalez. who was visibly disturbed in his career, he said he had never seen a scenario like this with such horrific circumstances. Other members of the sheriff's office were also very troubled by this, he said. It is heartbreaking, Gonzalez said. Gonzalez added that the siblings apparently were fending for each other and that the 50-year-old was taking care of the youngest children. The mother of the children, as well as her boyfriend, were located late Sunday night, Gonzalez tweeted. Let me look at this and see where they were found at. Appear malnourished and show signs of physical injury. All three were transported to a hospital to be assessed and treated for the injuries. It is believed the parents had not lived in the unit for several months. The mother of the children, her boyfriend, were located. Where were they located, though? I guess y'all don't speak about that. Okay, so I guess you ain't releasing the information yet where they were located, right? They were being interviewed by homicide investigators on Monday. They had been released and not charged. Released and not charged. Released and not charged. The three minors were with the Child Protective Services on Monday, and the agency was seeking emergency custody of the children. To ensure the safety of the children, the Department of Family and Protective Services is seeking emergency custody of the three boys. Melissa Lanford, spokesperson for the Texas department that oversees the CPS, said in a statement sent to the Post, Child Protective Service does have history with the family, but there was no active CPS investigation at the time the children were discovered alone in their apartment. The statement added, a removal hearing will take place in family court. When children are found in a situation of neglect, the state typically seeks emergency removal to ensure that they are promptly moved into a safer situation. The Harris County Sheriff's Office did not immediately respond Monday to a request for further details about the case, including the circumstances of the alleged neglect. The apartment where the children were found had no power for at least a couple of weeks. Harris County Deputy Thomas Gillian told the Houston Chronicle and neighbors had been bringing the children food and charging their phone. The Harris County Sheriff's Office homicide, child abuse, and crime scene units are investigating. On Sunday afternoon, neighbors at an apartment complex about 20 miles west of downtown Houston watched as detectives carry out their investigation. Diane Davis, who has lived at the complex for 2 years, told the Chronicle that the building manager regularly performed inspections on all apartments, with the most recent happening last week. So that's the case, then what happened? What happened? If they did it last week, then what the hell happened? How come they couldn't detect this? Yes, David told the newspaper. How could they not have been found? Yes. In September, there were 44 reports of child abuse and neglect by abandonment in Texas, 12 of them in Houston, according to the Department of Family and Protective Services. Man, you gotta be fucking kidding me. And they did inspection last week. What the hell? Y'all hear that shit? Y'all hear that shit? They did an inspection last week, so what happened? Oops. Right, Reggie, Jesus Christ. Hell, reading that part there got me thinking about that song about, what's that man name that sang that song called Lies? It's old school. Oh, his name on the tip of my tongue. It's an old school song called Lies. Wish I could have seen them in your eyes, but I was too caught up in your web of lies. His name is something. Damn, I forgot. It's something Butler. Something Butler. Ain't no way in hell y'all did an inspection last week and didn't catch this. Ain't no way in hell. And when I read that, this song came to my mind. There's the City Park 1 and City Park 2, and both are Section 8 and roach infested. Jesus Christ. Well, they go to show you that looks can be deceiving then. Well, Spencer did come in and say that earlier. Said it's the PJs. She said it's the PJs, and you just came here and said that. So, yeah. Well, let me say this right here. This is the pepper tree of Houston. Yeah, that what it sound like it now. AZZ, been a minute since I seen you. What's going on? They didn't inspect shit. There's even a review stating maintenance was scamming people with work orders. Everybody started with the mom, fed the kids. I mean, I can't. I don't see that either. I mean, if y'all did the inspection last week, I mean, I don't know how. John DeBullet, thank you. That's his name. That's his name. We got lies. Wish I could have seen them in your eyes, but I never did. And that's what they did. That's what they did in that article. They just sit up there and flat foot lied. Straight up lied. Well, this is going to be another story. Yeah, I see it, lady. Thank you. I see it. Thank you. I see it. I see it. Well, here's going to be another story. It's going to have a whole lot of twists and turns. And it's going to leave what a lot of us keep saying, what the hell? How? Why? How come? How could they? Why would they? Okay? Shoulda, coulda, woulda. It's going to have a lot of this stuff, a lot of them kind of questions going on with this story. And I'm just baffled. If I said that right. I'm just baffled that if she is the mom of these children, not only are they in deplorable conditions, you have a dead body up in there, and her and the boyfriend was released. What kind of explanation can anybody give for the police of Texas or Houston, wherever the hell this happened at, can release them? What kind of excuse can you give anyone for leaving children with no lights on and a dead body and malnourished? What the hell could they possibly have said to be released? What could possibly have been said? These motherfuckers get to walk free. With a dead body on somebody's hands. They get to walk free. Why the children suffer? The mom gets to walk free while the children suffer. And if the boyfriend was involved, he gets to walk free while the children suffer. And this is one of the reasons that a lot of these children be fucked up when they grow up. They be traumatized when they grow up because of shit like this. Shit happened to them and they not being rescued. And the signs was there in people's faces that something was wrong. The signs was there. The neighbor over there at Mallory, the signs was there. Something was wrong. The signs was there. That woman said she heard that boy crying and said she put on her earbuds. When she got to listen to whatever she was listening to, she took him out. It was quiet. Right there in their face. Right there. Maybe somebody else did it and the mom don't have custody or something. I'm trying to make it make sense. It ain't working. Guys, I have no idea what the hell is going on. And Mary, you right about that. I mean, regardless of the answer, ain't gonna change anything. But I just want to know what could they possibly have said to be released. What the hell did they say to be released? I don't know. What did they say? What did they say? My God. My God. Ladies and gentlemen, here's another one. I just had to tell you, hey, we had to stay tuned and see what's going to happen. We definitely going to have to stay tuned and see what the hell is going to happen with this one. You know, somebody got an answer for this. They do. I don't know who. Apparently the mom ain't got an answer for it because she been released. But somebody got an answer for this. Because this is too outrageous for nobody to be held accountable for what happened. Amen? This is just too outrageous for nobody to be held accountable. Hold on. Wait a minute. Y'all give me a minute. All right, guys. I got Spence on the phone. Let me go back here so I can see what y'all saying. And I want to hear what your speculation she got, which I don't know what the hell you got, but hey, let's hear it. Now, I already know what you're going to say. These are Scuzz Bucket apartments, so we can get that out the way.
We I've been said they were Skulls Bucket apartments, and the people went verified for you they were Skulls Bucket apartments. The girl they interviewed told us they were Skulls Bucket apartments.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, now we're gonna talk about these interviews. Every time you show a news conference, an interview with the neighbor, whoever, I always tell you, I say, hey, use your context clues. Don't listen to what they're saying. Listen to what they're not saying, and you can get a little bit of truth out of the bullshit.
Mm-hmm.
First and foremost, the girl said that they was living in Skulls Bucketry. The neighbor said they didn't have no lights, no this, that, and the other.
Mm-hmm.
Now we gonna bypass the fact that none of them motherfuckers called CPS or police, and nobody just kept feeding the kids.
All right.
Which leads me to believe that they knew that them kids wasn't quite unattended, abandoned, quote unquote, because why didn't y'all call the authorities?
Thank you. That's what I'm saying.
So that means that they seen somebody over there fucking with them kids.
Thank
they
you.
had to, for them not to have notified nobody.
Thank you. Exactly.
We ain't gonna just throw the apartment inspection people under the bus. Right now, the maintenance man came to my house this morning. I was walking out the door as he was walking up to the door. He said, "Where you finna go?" I said, "Wherever the fuck," so on and so forth. He said, "Well, who in the house?" I said, "The kids." He was like, "Well, they sleep." I said, "Yeah." He said, "Oh, well, I gonna do whatever." If I hadn't have been here, maintenance man would have knocked on the door. I didn't answer the door. He would have used his key cane on
Mm-hmm.
He would have saw these motherfucking children in here, sleep up, whatever the fuck, moving around.
Mm-hmm.
I'm quite sure if anything was amiss, maintenance man would have called somebody, told somebody, they would have smelled this stinking as long as this boy been dead.
Mm-hmm.
Now, this is what gets me. What I say is when they released them parents, they did some flaky shit in the air. Them kids couldn't have possibly been in the mama's custody for the mama to been able to walk free.
Okay, I hear you on that though, but if that was an apartment, if they was in her care at the time, then what does that say?
That's what I'm saying. That couldn't have been the mama's house, period. Somebody got the answer for the fact that children were left malnourished in a house, dead body notwithstanding. The other kids in the house had to be taken for medical treatment. If that was the mama's house, and if the mama had custody and was in charge of them kids, that ass would have got arrested right then for child endangerment.
Mm.
We ain't gonna say fuck the baby, but fuck the dead body. We got proof, man. You done committed child endangerment. These are living children in this house with no lights, no food, no school, no nothing, and we got a dead body. That wasn't at mama's house.
What? Well, if it wasn't an apartment, then why was she going there giving them noodles and SpaghettiOs and shit?
I hate to say it, but right now, if knock on wood, these tax credits in the other room when they get taken from me and sent over to somebody's house, and they call me and they tell them, Miss Sally Sue ain't been home in days and we hungry. I'm going to go over there and I'm going to take them some food. But I'm also going to call the authorities. Now, next context clue, CPS says, we've had several cases on the people, but we don't have one right now. Mm-hmm. What happened with the other cases on the people?
Yeah.
Y'all had some cases. What did y'all do with the cases? Did y'all take the children from their mama and give them to some other motherfucker who done pulled a Trezell and Jacqueline West and just left the body in the house?
Because notice what they said. They said CPS has a history with them. And I guess they go to subpoena their history, I guess, in due time. And what's all it was. Because, they say they found them and it was injuries. Not only malnourished, they had injuries on them.
Exactly. If right now I leave and go to Las Vegas and something happened to these kids in this goddamn house and they got food, lights, air, video games, Wi-Fi, all that shit. Let something happen to one of them when I step my ass off the plane, don't I go to jail? Now, if I leave these children in the care of somebody else and something happens to them while I'm gone to Las Vegas, I leave you in charge of the kids and I run off to Las Vegas for who knows how long, and something happened to one of these kids. Your ass is in trouble, not mine.
Somebody said in the chat room, Brit, she said whoever name on their lease, they got an answer for that. They got an answer for that too, don't it?
Mm-hmm.
So I wonder if they're going to subpoena to get the lease and all that stuff. Who named their apartment in?
Hell yeah.
That's interesting. And people saying you right. They say you making sense. They say you absolutely right.
Ain't no way in the hell they done found the mother and the stepfather boyfriend, and we got a dead body and malnourished children and injured folks, and they let them go.
So what did you see to make you saw that it was Scud's Bucket Town with roaches and all that stuff in it? What made you saw that it was Scud's Bucket City?
I know somebody live there.
Oh God! Oh no! Oh Jesus Christ!
That's why I sent you the story. I know somebody live there.
Oh God!
Like, bitch, they found a little boy dead in like that damn apartment.
Oh God! Whoever this is, maybe you could talk to me and come on the show and talk about them apartments. Because on the outside looking in, those some mighty fine looking apartments.
I mean, it's Section 8. They have nice looking projects.
Those are mighty fine. But see, like people, wait. But just like people saying in the chat room, though, you know, if it's Section 8, then they do inspections often. So who's dropping the ball here?
They do inspections quarterly.
Oh, okay. Woo! Jesus.
So this child has been deceased for going on a year now, so says the child that found it. So that means that the apartment people done fucked up at least 2 inspections.
Yeah. And what you think about? They say they did one last week.
Knock, knock. Ain't nobody at home.
And went on by their business. It went on by their business. Yep.
And then who's to say that in the age of this Rona shit that they even did them at all? They probably just sent checklists around to the residents and ask them, hey, is anything in your apartment fucked up, need fixing, or you got any concerns? Sign this shit here, because we ain't coming up in there. Y'all got to go this, and y'all nasty anyway.
I like that too. Good point. Yeah, somebody said 1 or 2 times a year they inspect. Wow. Interesting. Well, my dear friend, thank you for putting your input on this. It kind of opened my nose and my eyes up to what's really going on here, you know. So, ladies and gentlemen, this is Spencer. Y'all just seen in the chat room. So,
I'm also a practicing psychic. I be telling this nigga all this shit that's gonna happen 3, 4, 5 days before it occurs. He don't never believe me. Then he want to get in front of y'all and read the shit after the news people and say and get all shocked. Like with this other little incident in Milwaukee, I told him a week ago before the baby even got found. I said, Chris, when they find that baby, they gonna fight over him.
She did, and it's happening. Yep.
The girl found it, and little Boosie gonna fight over the baby body.
You sure did. She ain't lying. Yeah, she did. They gonna fight, and I'll be damned. They cutting up too.
Wait a minute. Sidebar. Why are we here? I'm gonna give y'all a little tea about that, and then we're gonna go back to this story. Word on the streets is this is what happened. Why he reversed his whole little stance, because he didn't join a group on Facebook that I'm a member of, and he been in there going live. The people told the folks, the police and the medical examiner and everybody, that he wasn't shit and so on and so forth, and he was a deadbeat and wasn't involved in the child's life. So when they got done with the autopsy, they gave their family the body. And went on trips and make their funeral arrangements and all this shit without him. They was not going to allow that man to be at his child's funeral because they did not like him. And excuse me to the uncooked people of the chat, it is what it is, sirs and ma'ams. I didn't say this. I'm just taking how I'm going to say what them people said. The family didn't like him because they felt like she was a nice, sweet little white girl until she discovered that chocolated pain, and she crossed the line of no return with all sorts of bullshit activities, and they didn't know her no more, and he wants to jump off to all them Negro activities, shall we say.
But you know what? That's not far-fetched because people in the chat room saying the same thing too. They think they got something to do with it, you know, so that's not far-fetched.
For those of you who didn't understand what I said, trying to be nice, the family's salty because they said that she was a nice, sweet little white girl before she discovered nigger dick. And he was the nigger dick that turned her into a bad girl. And it was the point of no return. And
see, they saying in the chat room now. They saying in the chat room now. They said that. A lot of people said that. Queen said it. Night Owl said it. Alicia said it.
Then he left her with the goddamn baby. So then she had to go trapping and doing all sorts of schools, working 2 jobs, and who knows what else to take care of his baby. And now that she got caught up in some bullshit and dead, he want to come out crying. So no, he can't come to the funeral. He said, fuck that. Y'all ain't finna keep me from the funeral. I tell you what, I'm gonna take my baby. I'm gonna have my own funeral, and y'all can have the body afterwards, and y'all can do what y'all want to do.
Then somebody said she went and got a black girlfriend. That's what they talk about, Anna. Somebody named Anna.
And if you keep acting petty with me, you bitches, I'm not even gonna give you the body after I get done with my funeral. Now say one more thing to me. So now the word on the streets is the family is going to go and get a lawyer to compel this man to hand them the body of that baby. And I do not know how this is going to work for these people because he's the birth father. He's on the birth certificate. He is the next of kin to that child. They only got rights to the baby's mama, not to the baby. Now, what I don't like is what he should have done was played his cards right and let them goddamn folks pay for their funeral because his ass over there begging for money right now.
Well, but see, that's the part that's getting me because from what I read, he didn't have to worry about nothing. Everything's gonna get paid for. Am I right, guys? Ain't that what was out there that he didn't have to worry about no expenses?
Well, everything gonna be paid for anyway because number one, that's a baby, and number two, he got killed, so the state crime victims fund gonna take care of all of that. You know what I'm saying? When you are a victim of a violent crime, people, and I ain't gonna deter y'all from donating to these folks GoFundMes and all of that, especially if they leaving a bunch of children behind or something like that. But when it comes to funeral expenses, every state in the United States of America is what is called the State Crime Victims Fund. When your ass go to prison, a part of your court costs, fines, and restitution, every dollar you send cousin Nook, the state gonna take some of it to deposit it into that fund to help pay for the funerals of crime victims. So it wouldn't have been no issue with that bullshit anyway. But he over there right now with a fresh GoFundMe begging.
I heard. But now, I mean, that's what probably was out there. But then I think I read something yesterday where they said he was allowed to whatever memorial they was going to have or whatnot. But now here's what they saying, and I don't want to get too far in there. We can say that for another update. But here's what I gathered from the story. You know, they saying that, you know, hey, man, we don't mind you having a memorial for your son. I mean, do your thing because that is your son. Have your memorial, have your funeral, however you want to do it. But we just asking, you know, let him be buried beside his mom. That's what I'm gathering out of it. Now, I agree with you about this lawyer thing. I don't know what you're getting a lawyer for because like I kept saying last night, somebody had to come to a point where they had to say, you know, forget it. It's not worth it. We know where our heart's at, okay? If you want to bury his son in there in Madison, let him have it. You know, there's no need to get no lawyer. What you going to put more money into it just to get him buried beside his mom? If it gets that messy, let him have it. Let him have it.
It's all trifling, and I told you it was gonna happen.
You did, but I ain't know we're gonna go this deep though. This is too much. This is too much. And can they don't want to rest in peace over this crap? This is just too much. Somebody say they don't know who you is, but they love you.
I love you too, baby. Thank you.
Okay. Right, well, ladies and gentlemen, this is Spencer. Well, thanks for putting your input in on this story. And somebody said in chat room too, this is Scud's Bucket story. So, they say this is Scud's Bucket. So,
y'all gonna make me get a channel called Scud's Bucket Story Time. Cause I sure know a heap of stories. Shit.
He did that.
I see Scud's Bucket shit every day.
Did that.
Chris with that Scud's Bucket shit too, y'all. He just get on here and act like he nice.
All right. Well, on that note, ladies and gentlemen, well, lady, I will call you back a little bit later. Let me get back to the peoples.
All right.
All right. Yeah. So, yeah, I mean, a lot of people are saying that, you know, they thinking a lot of stuff probably did have something to do about interracial relationship. But, of course, there's no way to prove all that. But that's all just speculation, you know. So, I don't know, man. My only thing about that is I'm just at the point now. Let the baby be rest. Put him to rest. That's it. Let Mallory rest. Let the child rest. Man, let all this shit go. Let it all go. No need to get no lawyer. No need for nobody to try to sue anybody. Man, just let them be in peace. If he don't want to do it, let him have it. Let him have it. If he don't want to do it, let him have it, y'all. Y'all know where y'all heart is at. He know where his heart is at. Bada bing, bada boom. That's all that can be said about it. Let him have it. Let him have it. That's all I can say. Let him have it. All right? Ain't no need to go through all that. Let him have it. Let him have it. Let him have it. But anyway, guys, only you gotta fill us in. What you talking about? Fill you in on what? You know, so yeah, I did hear about the GoFundMe. And matter of fact, I heard it was 2 GoFundMes before this one. I was told there was one he had for $5,000. That I heard he had one that was for $50,000. Don't know what the one for $50,000 for, you know, but the $5,000 one supposed to be for the funeral. So I don't know what's going on. I don't know what's going on. I don't know what's going on with this dude, but you know, I still say at the end of the day, it's gonna hurt him before it helps him. It's gonna hurt him before it helps him. And I don't know the people who down there supporting him, his family. Are they trying to talk to him and say, "Hey, man, you doing too much. You doing a little bit too much right now, dude, and this don't look good on you." Cause now since he doing all that, all this stuff coming out now, all this stuff coming out. People making Facebook groups about him. The article came out. People sending me his records and stuff. Somebody asked me today, "You gonna do a show about it?" I said, "Not really, cause I really don't want to talk about that. But let him make his own noise." And watch the cards fall. That's all we can do at this point. Let him put his own self in the frying pan and let the cards fall as they may. Amen. Let the cards fall as they may. Ladies and gentlemen, as always, you know, hey, I love each and every last one of y'all. Thank y'all for joining me tonight. Y'all being a good sport. Thank you, Spence, for putting in your input. He was shot, Keisha. He was shot in the head. He was shot in the head. All right. And speaking of which, I'm glad you asked me that. I'm hoping somebody trying to find out why she was down there. He talking about, you know, that don't matter. Yes, it does matter. You need to be finding out why she was down there. Because you got your son killed. All right. Well, however, I'll be back with an update today because what I found out with that, somebody else has been arrested in her death. How about that? But it's too late tonight and I got to get to bed. So y'all stay tuned tomorrow, or I might do a video in the morning to let y'all know what's going on with this other arrest. I'm your man, Chris Thorns. Y'all take it easy. Look after your children. And y'all be safe out there. Peace out.